Hi folks, I'm John and I'm just going to show you where to apply the lubricant. If you're servicing your machine or maybe you've done a repair, it's always a good idea to lubricate it and service it. And you're looking for any bearings. So we've got bearings on the front flywheel, so we can see them in there. So I'm going to use the straw that comes with the lube to just give a little spray. There we are, and the same on this side. There we are, and we're just going to rotate the wheel. That has the effect of drawing in the lubrication we've just put on. You don't need to put a lot of lube on, it's only really to rejuvenate the grease inside the bearings. The bearings have normally got a metal or a rubber shield, so the 5-in-1 Pro Lube is light enough to be able to penetrate through the seal, just enough to rejuvenate the grease that's already in the bearing. We've also got an idler wheel here, so we'll do the same there. A little spray in there, and a little spray on the other side. There we are. Give that a little rotate, draw the lube in, and then we've got crank bearings at the back. This will be difficult for you to see. There we are. So you can see the crank. The crank actually runs through here, but there's no access there. So I need to apply my lube on the outside. So there's the axle, you can see the axle down there. So I'm just going to drip some drops down onto the axle. And the same on the inside here. Very, very difficult to get to, but with the straw you should be able to direct it and guide the lube into the right general area, rotate it, it will draw it in, and then just wipe up any excess if you happen to overspray. Be careful not to get any lube on the belt. The drive belt doesn't need lubricating, so please don't put any on that. If you do get some overspill, just wipe it off with a cloth. And you've also got other pivots. So for example, other sources of potential noise. Well, I suppose it's possible you could get a noise from the spring, so we'll put a little bit of lube there, top and bottom, because we've got metal to metal contact. We've also got a pivot down here where the brake mechanism goes. You can see that down there, look. So let's get a little bit of lube on there. There we are. And that's about it on this machine. One final way to inspect is to see all the cables. Just make sure all the cables are nicely tied back. You could add extra cable ties if you feel it needs them, because you don't want any of the cables rubbing against the cross wheel as the wheels rotate. So it's worth always taking a look at those. Make sure your speed sensor's in position. Sometimes that can get knocked, particularly if you've done a repair. So we'll just line that back up, look, just for example. And make sure that it doesn't catch on the magnet. There's the magnet, so there's a couple of millimeters gap there. And that means that when you do put your machine back together, you shouldn't get any strange noises or clonking noises or ticking noises. And with the lube on your bearings, it means you're good for another 12 months at least.